What if I told you that long before colonization, Africa was home to global superpowers? Empires richer than Europe, armies more disciplined than any invading force, and queens who led men into battle? These weren't myths. These were African royals. Kings and queens whose influence shaped economics, warfare, diplomacy, and culture across the world. Today, we are diving deeper into the lives of some of the most powerful African rulers in history, and why their stories still matter. Let's start with Sundiata Keita, born with physical challenges and exiled as a child. Sundiata's rise to power reads like an epic legend. In the 13th century, he defeated the tyrant King Samoro Kanti and united rival kingdoms to form the Mali Empire. But Sundiata wasn't just a conqueror, he was a nation builder. He established one of the world's earliest systems of human rights and governance, known as the Mandan Charter, centuries before the Magna Carta. His leadership laid the foundation for one of the richest and most influential empires the world has ever seen. That empire reached its peak under Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa is widely considered the wealthiest human in recorded history. His fortune came from Mali's control of gold and salt, resources essential to global trade. During his famous pilgrimage to Mecca, he distributed so much gold across North Africa and the Middle East that he disrupted entire economies for years. But his legacy wasn't just wealth. He funded universities, libraries, and mosques, especially in Timbuktu, turning it into a global center of learning that rivaled Europe's greatest cities. Centuries earlier, Africa was already setting global standards under Hatshepsut. Hatshepsut ruled ancient Egypt not as a regent, but as pharaoh, adopting full royal titles and authority. Rather than focus on conquest, she expanded Egypt's wealth through trade expeditions, particularly to the land of Punt. She commissioned massive architectural projects, including her mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari, which still stands today. Her reign proved that African royalty included women who ruled with strategy, economic intelligence, and unmatched authority. In West Africa, Oba Ewuare the Great transformed the Benin kingdom into a masterpiece of engineering and art. He rebuilt Benin City with massive earthworks, considered one of the largest man-made structures on Earth at the time. Under his reign, the kingdom flourished artistically, producing the famed Benin bronzes, now housed in museums worldwide. Oba Ewuare centralized power, expanded trade with Europeans, and ushered in a golden age that lasted generations. Now let's talk about military dominance. Queen Amina was a fearless warrior queen who expanded her kingdom across modern-day Nigeria. She personally led armies, conquered new territories, and built fortified city walls, many of which still exist and are known as Amina's Walls. Queen Amina shattered every stereotype about women in warfare, proving African queens were not symbolic rulers. They were battlefield leaders. Few leaders embodied resistance like Queen Nzinga of Angola, facing Portuguese colonization and the transatlantic slave trade. Nzinga used diplomacy, deception, and military strategy to protect her people. She negotiated treaties, led armies, and formed strategic alliances with rival European powers. When peace failed, she fought relentlessly. Queen Nzinga represents African resistance at its fiercest and smartest. In southern Africa, Shaka Zulu revolutionized warfare. He transformed the Zulu from a small clan into a dominant military force by introducing new weapons, close combat tactics, and disciplined formations. Shaka's innovations reshaped the political map of southern Africa and forced European powers to take African military strength seriously. That resistance continued under Menelik II, defender of African sovereignty. An African nation defeated a European power during colonization. That victory preserved Ethiopia's independence and inspired anti-colonial movements across the world. In the 20th century, Haile Selassie I carried that legacy forward. He modernized Ethiopia, advocated for African unity, and became a global symbol of Black sovereignty. His speech to the League of Nations, warning the world about fascism, remains one of the most powerful addresses in modern history. Finally, we end with Asantewaa. When Ashanti leaders hesitated to resist British demands, she stood up and led the War of the Golden Stool, defending sacred tradition and national dignity. Global African leadership. These African royals weren't footnotes in history. They were global leaders, innovators, warriors, and visionaries. If this video changed how you see African history, and remember, Africa wasn't waiting to be civilized. Africa was already ruling.